guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Janet and I'll be showing you my last week's spread for February 2021, ending it with the fire starter Pokemons. I basically drew them on a separate bullet journal paper and colored them in, and I'll be cutting them out now. So, as you can see, I finished cutting them all out. Now I'm basically just trying to arrange them on the journal just to see where exactly I want to place them all. So if you watch my first video for February 2021 setup video, I basically did the first week a pop-up design. Now you do want to see how I did it, I recommend you check that out. But unfortunately, I thought I got a good angle on how I did it in this video. But I basically cut out a rectangle from the bullet journal page. I did a 5 by 8. Once I got the 5 by 8, I just basically fold it in half. So once you fold it in half, I just fold it at a certain angle, made a crease, unfold, and then cut out a little triangle. Again, check out my previous video to see how I did it in that, but I recommend you guys to do it in slow-mo. Now for the Pokemons, I'm just cutting out with the Exacto knife the extra white spaces that I wasn't able to cut out with the scissors. Now remember, safety first, guys. So please be careful if you are recreating this weekly spread, to be careful using the knife, or have a guardian or somebody you trust to do it for you. So now I'm just gluing down the main two Pokemons that I want on the journal itself, which is Charmander and Chinchar. Those are the main two on the page, and it's gonna be like a background kind of thing. So I basically had a separate piece of paper to basically put glue on, so I didn't mess up my journal. I do recommend you guys to do that. Now I'm just doing a background design, so it's like a campfire. You're at camp, you're making some s'mores, so I did a log bench behind the Pokemons. You guys are probably wondering, like, where's the campfire then? Don't worry, the campfire is coming. It is SeQuel itself. So I'm basically trying to see where exactly to place and do the pop-up design. So this pop-up design, the dimensions that I used was 2 by 4. Now you want to start off from 2 up high, then move 4 squares, and then you want to, yes, I'm basically showing you what I'm recreating. But basically, you want to do 2 lines, move over 4 spaces. Instead of making the line the same level as the first line, you want to bring it down 1. And then move over 4 and bring it back up to match the first line. So basically, I'm kind of off angle with my pop-up drawing design, so now you guys can see. So I'm basically just recreating the EC together, just separate. Reason why I'm drawing them 2 separate ones is so they act as in a support to the Pokemons. Right now I'm just cutting them all out, and I'll show you exactly where to fold. But as you can see, you make dotted lines to show or remind you where to fold. So I cut them all out. I am folding on the dotted lines, and then leaving them folded a little bit just so it can stay in that position. Again, with the long one, you're just folding on the dotted lines. You will also be folding it in half. Do it gently because it may rip. So once you get your folds in, I was still debating which Pokemon I wanted next to Cyndaquil and what side I wanted Cyndaquil to be on. So I was basically just playing around with it. And I realized, why not put Torchic? It was more easier, so I can just focus my eyes on Cyndaquil. So I'm just putting some washi tapes down. Unfortunately, I ran out of the watercoloring paint for brown, so I'm just using my Ohuhu markers just to paint or color the ground in or the dirt in. And then, black circles here and there as like little rocks. And now I'm just coloring the logs in. Again, if you want cheap, affordable dual brush tips markers, the Ohuhu markers are one of my favorites, and they're very affordable. I actually still have them and I haven't used them all yet. Right now I am basically gluing my pop-up folds onto the Pokemon and seeing where I should put it. I kind of glued it and put it on by mistake because I was just making sure I glued the right one down. Once you get it down, I'm just basically kind of prepping where I want to place the Pokemon and see the angle for it. So I didn't want them covering them up completely, so I'm just making sure where to put this. So instead of having it glued down already, I'm just playing around with it. So I kind of found the perfect angle. So if you guys need to, I recommend you glue the flaps down on the paper journal first. And then once you glue it down, close the book just to enforce that glue to stay on the journal pages. I am surprised I actually glue Cyndaquil down the way I want to in one shot. For Torchic, I kind of had to redo it a little bit because Torchic didn't want it to stay. So once I got that in, I'm basically just helping the glue set in more. Again, see how I'm struggling with Torchic because Torchic wasn't looking straight to me. So basically, whenever you open the page, the Pokemons will move in the upward direction, and then after that I just glued the other two Pokemons right underneath them to give it a little dimensions here and there, and it actually worked out. Like I said, make sure you use a good enough amount of glue so the folds of the pop-up will stick to the page. Again, I was just making sure the fold stayed by like pressing the book together, closing it, adding a little weight. Now once I finished that and gluing everything down, I just finished the top half of the journal, which I decided to do a night theme with the stars, coloring the back with the black Corolla marker, and then getting my Sakura gel pen just to make stars in the background. Doesn't have to be perfect, it could be little dots everywhere, here and there. Again, I was still debating what side I wanted, Score Bunny, and then which one I wanted, that one, and then I did figure it out. So the little pop-up fold, I decided to make that first, and then the longer pop-up fold, I decided to use it for Score Bunny to be in the further back a little bit. So again, glue the flaps down on the journal first, then close your journal, put some pressure in just so your pop-up can hold. Once you get that all in, you can glue the Pokemon on, add some little design on the pop-up fold. Again, I'm just making sure my Pokemon is glued on the design well. So if you see me closing every now and then, it's just that I want it to stay. And there you have it. I'm just doing the finishing touches right now. Putting some pressure, and voila! There you go. That is your pop-up design for the spread. And then after that, I'm just dividing the page into 4 sections on each page, horizontal wise. So the dimensions for the weekly spreads is 10, 10, 9, and 9. And then I just basically drew the line across to the other page. So we're down to the final count. Now I'm just picking my marker to write the days of the week out. Just writing them out. And if you're afraid to ruin your pop-ups, you can always push the pop-up down on the paper. They can always lay flat, but I decide to keep mine up. But you can lay them down so you can write and do everything more easily. And there you guys have it. This is my last week's spread. I'm just showing you real quick. and the final product. I hope you guys like this video. If so, hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button, and come back soon to watch my March setup video in a couple days. So beware. Bye guys.